Okay, so now that we've got an array of pieces, we've set some of them, let's use that information to render the board. I guess we can still print the info out, doesn't matter. But I want to go to this board view, and this board view is going to have a draw function that takes the basic information. It takes the array of pieces and draws them. So the long story short is it's going to need to know about this module game. So what we'd want to do is we'd want to say something like use model or something. Let's see. Okay, so it says unresolved. Similarly, if we go model, it'll be unresolved. And it says, what does it say? Yeah, it's looking in source, view, board view. So it's not doing it. So what we can do instead, if we want to use any file path at all in our project, we use crate. And crate is the root file path basically for the source folder. So I want to be going crate model game board piece. Okay, so that is how we access an arbitrary module or thing, is we use crate to make absolute file paths. Okay, so all well and good. Now if we go down to the render function, you'll see that things are starting to get pretty big, and I don't want to make it any worse. So what I'll do is I'll just grab all of this code, and this stuff here is for drawing the background line, so I'll just cut that. I'll make a function called draw lines. That should be fine, so I can minimize that and then just go like that, draw lines. Okay, excellent. Excellent. All right, so where was I? What I want to do is I want to take a bit of extra information about my game. I'm going to take board, which is a reference to the standard thing. So I have board piece, 5 of them per row, and then 5 rows. Okay, so then I'll just go back to the main file, and when I render, I will also put in the game states board. It'll handle that just fine. There we go. Excellent. So the drawing code will go in there. Okay, so that was most of what I wanted to look at, but let's actually dig into this, let's actually dig into this draw pieces function. It's not too tricky. Okay, so I'm just going to get the width and height . Okay, so just a note here, things are gonna get a little funky because I need to use a usize variable to access into the array. However, I can't use a usize variable for math operations. It just doesn't seem to work. So we might be in a situation where we want a little more control over our variable types. And what we can do, for instance, in a for loop, if we want to control strictly the type of variable that we're using for our counter, we can add a prefix onto one of the bounds. So for instance, if I want this to be an unsigned integer, I put a U32 on either of my bounds. I actually do want this to be a regular integer so that it matches with width and height up here. But anyway, so then the question is, let's use I for our row. So then we want to get a usize conversion. One way we can do this is we can, what are we? Go try into. And what this will do is it will look at I and it'll say, okay, we're getting an integer, a 32-bit integer, and we're trying to store it into a usize type. So this is a pretty handy catch-all conversion function which attempts to cast it. Then we'll just do the same thing for J. Okay, so just give it an early exit statement here. If we've got nothing, then simply don't draw anything. Otherwise, we are going to draw something and we'll choose the color that we want to draw. So I'll make a mutable variable called color. And I'll start it off at black. And then I'll conditionally turn it red. Okay, so there we have it. Now let's use that. So we've selected a color. And I guess we should also construct a rectangle. Now here's the thing. I really want to use like a draw circle function or a draw oval function. And actually I had a look in the SDL2 documentation for Rust and those functions exist. However, for some reason they're marked as private and I can't find a way to call them. Like it's not, do you know what I mean? Like it's not something where I call draw rectangle and pass in a certain argument and then it rounds it out and turns it into an oval. No, it's just non-existent. So that's a little bit annoying, but I'll leave it with just rectangles for now. A little dodgy, but that's out of my control, I guess. So we'll just go make a rectangle. And we need X, Y, width, and height. And now this is really annoying because X and Y have to be integers and width and height have to be unsigned integers. And if you go one way or the other, it will complain, it will throw errors, it will not work. So I just have to pick something. So what I'll do is I'll just whack this in here for the X. I'll go a little bit of padding plus. Okay, excellent. Now for the width and height, I'm just gonna convert these. So I'll go half width. Okay, so excellent. So we've got that set up. Now let's just go canvas, fill rect, and it'll throw errors. So it'll throw warnings. So I'll just go unwrap or default. Okay, so there we have it. That is our draw function. Nothing too crazy. It's just standard loops. Let's go back. What is this actually complaining about? Use model game. Unused. I guess let's just get rid of that. Okay, I'm talking to myself. All right, Let's give this a go. Well, that's not what it's meant to be doing. There we go. I and J. So I is the height, it's the row that we're on. J is the X coordinate column we're on. All right, give that a go. Ah, excellent. Okay. So I mean, graphically it doesn't look great, but like I said, that's STL being STL. Yeah, we've got some pieces on our board. Anyway, that'll be it for now, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.